My name's Connie Colfox and I am a young horse specialist and problem horse trainer. People just send me horses that either haven't been trained, so they need starting off and sat on for the first time and hacked out and all that lot, or they send me a horse with a certain problem, which I then try and solve.
Thank you. So I just use the stick to keep her off me. It's just a barrier between me and her, because otherwise she'd just go too close.
I love my job and I would do my job even if I was a billionaire, so I'm incredibly lucky like that. And it's problem solving, and the way I train the horses is a very relaxing, sort of calm way to train horses, and that in itself is just a really nice thing to be around animals, trying to keep them calm, and you know, it's just a really pleasant thing to do.
So you can see that she wants to be trained, because she can go off at any time to go and play with her friend. And she actually there wants her friend to go away because she wants the fun of doing this, but I'll see if she can trot. Trot. Good. Good. Because when you raise the, thank you, the energy, obviously you're raising the game, and they're more likely to adrenaline to come in and them to maybe change their mind. Trot. 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 Good.
So the real thing with me is how does that horse actually feel when it's trained. So there's lots of ways to get horses to do certain things, but for me the real aim is for it to really feel like it wants to do those things. So I'm very much into the feelings, and I think that horses communicate through feelings and understand our feelings, and I think, you know, that's really important.
So this is a 6-year-old and he's had problems with being mounted. He's owned by a young man who's quite a good horseman himself, so it's a problem that we'll take quite seriously. So I'm going to use these bales to hopefully mount him at some stage. So I want him to truly, thank you, feel happy between them. So I haven't led him in here. I've only trained him a few times. He doesn't know me very well. So all we're dealing with is the balance of, thank you, how much he wants a nut and how far he's prepared to go for it. So that's why it's really important not even to have a head collar on, because once they've got a head collar on, they know they're captured. He's a 6-year-old, so he might do things he doesn't really want to do.
I train every sort of problem you can think of. I train, you know, horses that don't like being mounted, nappy horses, bucking horses, horses that don't like going on the lorry, horses that don't like jumping ditches, just anything a human finds difficult with their horse.
Right, ponies, let's see what we can do. Good. Thank you. Thank you. Just back up a sec, you two. Back up. So I'm saddling 2 3-year-olds out in the field, and I suppose what I'm doing is, thank you, is I'm giving them, I'm showing that, you know, it's good. 2 horses together is a good thing. That lowers heart rates and makes learning easier because they're not sort of shut in a box on their own. But you can see at any time, if they want to go, they can go. At the moment, thank you, I've done nothing that they feel is not worth the nut. Thank you. It's a bit sort of scrammed and they could be standing a bit more relaxed, but with the temperament of both these horses, they've only just come into this field. They're not doing too badly. Saddling 2 3-year-olds loose in a field.
I think the thing about training horses, it's horses communicate through feelings. And I think what people often don't understand is it's okay to be honest about your feelings. So when people are riding a young horse, obviously if you're relaxed, your horse is more likely to be relaxed because it's a feeling thing, but it's okay to be a bit worried because you're worried because your horse is communicating that to you. So to ignore that and pretend you're not worried isn't actually being honest to the horse, and I've seen it. So I'm actually I'm pretty pathetic, but I can still break in horses that professional riders find difficult to ride. And I think a lot of it is I'm honest with my horse. So if my horse makes me feel worried, there's a reason for that. And I've got to address that feeling. The horse is obviously feeling worried because I know a horse that's frightened, and a frightened horse is frightening to ride, so therefore I feel frightened. But I address that. I don't think, oh, I'm bigger and braver than that horse. I think that horse is frightened. Let's deal with the fear from the horse. But I've noticed with riders and people who've worked for me in the past that they try and hide the fact they're frightened, and it all unravels and doesn't go well for the horse or the rider. I don't think he's madly worried about it. I think he probably has never been taught to stand properly. So, you know, he's an intelligent horse. He's trying to get the nuts, and so he's trying to achieve the goal. He's trying to work the problem out, and he's beginning to get there. And I think if we go in a few more times, just short sessions, and just go over that, I think he'll get quite solid with it quite quickly. I sort of slightly feel that in the horse world we make a lot of mistakes because we pursue a certain avenue with a horse that is just not suited to, and then everyone gets very upset and says, oh, it's a useless horse because it won't jump a metre 20 course, when in actual fact it'd be perfectly fine at a metre, and if we keep a horse within what suits the horse, then that's great. And sometimes somebody wants their horse to be a dressage horse. Well, maybe the horse isn't really best suited to being a dressage horse, and we should realise that and put it in the, you know, put it in the direction it should go. Come on, boy. So I'm just trying to sort of illustrate the intelligence of a horse, I suppose. So the horse at the beginning of the day, all we taught him was to stand in a relaxed fashion, and I wanted to show that the horse could learn in the course of, you know, a few hours to walk over to the mounting block, position its body for me, and allow me to get on with nothing on its head. And this is a horse that's come to me yesterday with a problem of being mounted. It's a 6-year-old, so he's had a problem obviously for 2 or 3 years, and that in, you know, a very short time, using this sort of training method, you can change a horse's life. Oh, you're such a clever horse. They're so clever, aren't they? Good boy, you've done it. You've done it.